tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss a new sutta, which is called Papancha Sankhya Sutta. Papancha Sankhya Sutta. So we'll directly go to the sutta, which is in the Google Docs. I hope everyone can see it. And it's a very short sutta. It's a very short sutta. Gatha, there are a few points to be discussed. So anyone is volunteer to translate this, we can quickly go to the Gatha. Any volunteer?
I could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please go ahead. I hope you can see the screen.
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Hello, Sally. What happened?
Okay, Bante, I could do.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes, I'm sorry. Evam me sutam ekam samayam bhagava savatiyam viharati jetavane anathapindika sa arame. Thus I heard on one occasion the Blessed One was living in Jetavana's monasteries of Anathapindika near Savatthi. Tena kopana samayena bhagava anato papancha. Yeah.
Attano. Attano.
Yes, atano. Sorry. Atano papancha sanya sankha pahanam pacha vekhamano sinino hoti. Then at that time, the Blessed One who was sitting and contemplating on his own abandon of marks of conceptual differentiation. As we can see, this one on papancha is also mean disservification. Huh? Yeah. Atthako bhagava attano papancha sanya sankha pahanam vidito tayam velayam imam udanam udanesi. What happened?
Yeah, I think we lost connection, I think.
Yeah, now I give you come to the sentence Attako Bhagava Attano Papancha Sanya Sankha Pahanam Viditva Tayam Velayam Imam Udanam Udanesi. Then the Blessed One on that occasion, having seen his contemplation, this utterance. Yasa panyaja thiti cha nati, for whom has no mark of diversification and obstacle. Sandanam paliganja vitivato, who has gone beyond the fetter and the obstacle. Tam nittanham munim jarantam, the sect who lives without craving. Nava janati sadeva kopi lokoti sattamam He will not be looks down on the world and is
Now I'm in the.
derived. It's okay. Yeah, I'm finished my translation.
Okay, thank you, Sally. Thank you. Because I just came, a call came. I think Sally Punyachari is not connected. I think. So thank you very much, Sally. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bante.
Yeah. Sorry for the interruption with the internet and everything. Yeah. So one more thing, how did you translate this word? Just to clarify. Papancha sanya sankapahana. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Bante.
Okay. Oh, anyway, so we'll go to the sutta. This is actually the most difficult word in this sutta, and also we have a gata which Sally translated very well. So we'll go into the analysis of the sutta. Evam me sutang ekan samyam bhagava savatyam viharti jetavani anathapindika salame. I think everyone can understand. Tenako pana samena bhagava attano papancha sanya sankapahanam pacchavikkamano nisinno hoti. At that time, the blessed one was sitting nisinno hoti pacchavikkamano, contemplating. What was the object? Papancha sanya sankapahana. Papancha sanya sankapahana. So if you go to the commentary, we find that this Papancha Sanya Sanka Pahanam is divided as Papancha plus Sanya plus Sankha plus Pahana. Right. Papancha Sanya Sankha Pahana. Papancha sixfold like Tanha Ditti, Raga Dosa Moha, Mana Ditti, and Tanha. These are the 6 Papancha. We are called Papancha because they delay us, they lag us in the samsara. Then Sanya is the perception connected with these Papancha, the defilements, sort of defilements. Sankha is explained as the group, like the group of these kilesas. So in the end, it comes into all the kilesas related to these Papancha. All the kilesas related to these Papancha. Pahana is eradication. So eradication of the defilements related to Papancha, right? Papancha. So if we go into the commentarial explanation, we can find udaharanaka kata. Yeah. So here it mentions right. Papancha sanya, where is that? Tehi papanchehi sahagata sanya papancha sanya. The perception connected with these papancha. What are these papancha? Raga, dosa, moha, tanha, ditti, and mana. Papancha sanyanang sankha, bagha, pottasa. So the group, or we can say the portion of the papancha sanya, of the papancha sanya. So papancha sanya sankha means the portion or the part of the perception connected with kilesas. Arthato, in the essence, sadding nimittehi, together with the reason, tang papanchasa pakkiyo kilesagano. So papanchasa pakhiyo kilesa gano, the group of kilesas which are in the group means the aggregate of kilesas which are in the group of papancha, related to papancha we can call, right? Together with the nimitta. So what are the signs of papancha? What are the reasons for papancha? Tatta raga papanchasya subha nimittam, subha sanya nimittam. The reasons for raga is subha sanya. Dosa papanchasya, dosa aghata vattu, aghata vattu. Moha papanchasya asava, asava. Because aghata vattu means like reasons for our anger, like he did harm to me, he did harm to my friend, to myself, he supported my enemy. These are aghata vattu. Asava we know cankers. Then tanha papanchasya vedana. Vedana is the food for tanha. We know that. Ditti papancha sanya. Sanya is the reason for ditti. We can see this in the some suttas that Buddha mentions. So because of sanya, ditti arises. Man papanchasya vitakka. Vitakka is the reason for mana. Main reason for mana. So therefore, so when we say papancha sanya sankha, it includes the nimitta, the reason or the sign for these papancha, and also all the kilesa, aggregates of kilesas related to in the group of these papancha. It means roughly all the kilesas we are considering. Sanya gahanan chitta tassa nesang sadharana hetu bhavena. So because of sanya is taken here. It is a common cause for all the papancha. That's why it is mentioned in one sutta, sanya nidanahi papancha sankha. All the groups of defilements related to papancha have the sanya as their origin. So here papancha sanya sankha means roughly we can say all the defilements related to papancha, right? Tesan pahanang, a complete eradication of these defilements by the part consciousness. So that's what this meaning is. Then we go into the vocabulary. So to come into the, sorry, first we go into the udana. So this is the sanya papancha, the meaning of this word. Then we come into the next word, next sentence. Atako bhagava attano papancha sanya sankha pahanang viditva tayang velayang imang udanang udanits. Then the blessed one, having known the eradications of kilesas, his own eradication of kilesas, at that time uttered this utterance. Having known this, he uttered the utterance. So it means the commentary says that he understood that there's lots of, if you go into the commentary, there is some interesting notes given on that. This is actually this is the statement. So this is the Atako Bhagava part. So this is the reason. At that time, Buddha, having known that, roughly if we say, he knew the purification of his mind and also the other beings whose kilesas are very thick and it is very difficult to be removed. So having known this, that my defilements are well eradicated, they are fully eradicated in me. So seeing that, he became very happy about his purification, liberation, and then he uttered this utterance. So it was like he contemplated about his purification, his liberation, and also the suffering the other beings are entangled with, the defilements, the thickness of the defilements, and then he had a lot of joy within him and he uttered the utterance. He uttered the utterance. So then we go into the Gatha of the Sutta. According to the Gatha, Yassa papancha titicha natti sandhanang paligancha vitivatto tang nittanhang muning charantang navajanati sadeva kopi loko. Right? Navajanati sadeva kopi loko. So there is a relative clause and also the main clause. So we can see the main yassa, this part is relative clause. Yassa papancha titicha natti. Then this also adds as when we read, we can understand this is also telling the attributes of a certain person. Sandanang paligancha vitivatto. Yeah, Sandanam paligancha vitivatto. Tang nittanhang munincarantang navajanati sadeva kopi lo. So now we'll try to right. So then we come into the main clause. If we think about the main clause, so main clause here we can see this is the nominative case, this is a nominative case, this is a verb, right? These are verbs. So we can focus on here also we have a nominative clause, nominative verb. So these are accusatives, right? So first we understand word by word. Yassa papancha titicha natti. Of whom there is no papancha and titi. We'll later find what is titi. There's no papancha and titi in someone or of someone. Then sandhanang paligancha vitivattu. Vitivatta means overcome, one who has overcome. So one who has overcome sandhana and paliga. These are defilements, names for defilements. Then tang nittanhang munincaranta. Navajanati sadovikopi loko. When we look into this, it seems like something very difficult to translate, but the translation was done properly by Sally. So we can see this is the verb. This is the subject. Sadovakopi loko navajanati. So this is a very simple sentence. So this is the one part that we can start with. How to understand the Gatha. Text number 5, right? How to understand the Gatha. So we can start with the normal saying. Navajana, na avajanati. Then what is the subject? Sadevaku. Loko. Right? Sadevakopi. Even the world, entire world with devas, do not despise, do not look down on someone. Sadevaglopi na avajana. So whom do they not whom don't they despise? These tang nitanhang munincaranta. This is the object of this avajanati. We can have a guess. So this seems like a one sentence. The world with Sadevaka means together with deities. The world together with deities do not despise. Whom? Tang, that Nittanhang. Nittanhang. Nittanham means one who is freed from craving, one who doesn't have craving. Muning, all accusative case, sage, Charanta, one who is wandering, right? One who is wandering. Now, this wandering has some explanations, so we'll just go for the rough translation. Sadeva kopi loko tan nittannang munin charantang navajna avajana. So even the world, the beings, together with the deities, do not despise that person who is freed from craving, who is a sage, and who wanders. Right? Where wanders, we can find later on. Now, the remaining part is the relative clause. Relative clause. Now, this is the person who is not despised by the world. Now, the Buddha is explaining his attributes. What are the qualities? One few qualities are he's freed from suffering, he's a sage, and he wanders with wisdom, according to the explanation. Now, the relative clause explains him further. What are his qualities? Now, the first one, yassa, of whom? Papancha. Papancha. Titi. Cha. Nabhi. Now, of whom? Papancha. You can say cha also. 2 chars if you want. Papanchacha titicha natti. There is no papancha and there is no titi. There is no titi. What is that titi? We'll find out. Then sandhanang paligancha vitivattu. Sandhanang paligancha vitivattu. So here vitivattu means is a nominative case word, one who has overcome. What is the object of this overcoming? Paliga and sandhana. In terms of reality, sandhana means tanha and ditti, paliga means avijja. Anyway, so defilement, one who has overcome defilement. So if you look into this relative clause, the relative word is yassa, of whom papancha titicha natti. The subject of this sentence is papancha and titi. These are the subject, nominative case. Here, now the one person has overcome these defilements. That person is referred with vitivatta. So therefore, the subject should be put in yo, right? So of whom there is no papancha and no titi, and also who has overcome, gone beyond sandhana and paliga, that person, the sadevaka, even the deities, the beings together with deities, do not despise such a person. So these are the subordinate one, these are the relative. This is the relative. These are the subordinate relative phrases. This is the main phrase. So how do you understand? So the deities together with the world, the beings together with deities do not despise such a person who is freed from craving, who is a sage and who wanders with wisdom, and that person of whom papancha titi is absent, and also who has gone beyond sandhana and paliga. So this is how we came from the Gatha into understand the, how to understand the Gatha, right? This is how we understand. So this is the skill that we have to develop in order to understand the Gathas. It seems, maybe sometimes it may seem like something little bit difficult, but try to find out, because we have to read the Gatha always to get together with the context. That is very important. We have to read it together with the context. That's why sometimes the Gathas in the Jatakas have become a little bit difficult to understand, because we don't know the context. For that, we have to read the commentary story. Then we may get an idea about what the Gatha is. So likewise, here Buddha was contemplating about his attainments, purification of the mind from defilements in the sutta, and then he uttered this utterance explaining this the person who has fully eradicated the defilements. Yeah. So this is the rough explanation. So before we go into the commentary to find out some imperative points in the Gatha explanation, if you have any questions, we can discuss now.
Yes, Bhante.
Yes.
So for the how to understand the Gatha, is it possible to, so here we have 4 lines. Is it possible to see the first 2 lines as a complete sentence? What I mean is that instead of saying yo, can we say so?
Can.
Right?
Possible.
Yeah, I think it's also possible, right?
Possible. Because it can stand as a completely separate sentence. It's possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Commentary gives it as yo, but if you ask grammatically, is it possible? Yes, I would say it's possible.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Hello, Bhante.
Yes. Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah. So may I continue to his idea about can we do like this? Who yo papancha titi cha nati tam sandanam paligancha vitivato. Is okay. This one
Because
clause.
you mean you bring yo to the first sentence? Is it?
Yes. Yes.
Then what will be the subject? You mean you are asking? Okay, I'll write down what you are saying. You are telling like this, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And tam sandanam is one clause.
Tan sandana.
Yes.
Okay. You mean these two, right? So
Yes.
now we forget about these two. So we'll read yo papancha titicha natti. So what is the subject here? Subject should be yo.
Yeah.
This is feminine gender. This is feminine gender. You cannot put yo. Then you have to put ya if you want to put ya.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Then
Yes.
ya papancha titicha natti. Whatever papancha defilements and persisting is not existing. Tang sandhanang paligancha vitivatto. What is this? I think this is grammatically not possible.
Then he. So.
Then what happens if you put ya here? That
Yeah.
papancha and that titi are sandhana and paliga. They all become same. Because this is neuter. Paligo. This should be nominative case. I think this is not possible, Sally. Sandhana is neuter, paliga is masculine.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, don't. Okay, we can say this is as neuter. This as accusative gender. We can say it. Okay, no problem. Then there should be a person who overcome this.
Yes.
Then what happened in the end?
Then he has overcome obstacle and
who is that? Who
is mean
this is the relative part.
we already yeah.
So relative part now if you because this if you say okay what you are telling is okay I'll just read it for a while just for the sake. So ya papancha titicha natti. So there is which papancha and titi is not existing. That papancha is sandhana, which is also called sandhana, which is also called paliga, is overcome by someone. In the end, what happened, according to this, papancha, titi, sandhana, paliga have all become same. Because this is the relative one, this is the subordinate main clause, because we know a relative word and the main word has to refer to the same thing. So in the end, what happened? Papancha and titi and sandhana and paliga have all become the one. I think that is better to go. Yeah. I think it's better to do like this. Yasa papancha titi yo, right? Yo sandhanang paligancha vitivatto tang nittanhang munincarantang sadev loko na avaja. So it's better to go because otherwise I feel there will be some complications in the meaning as well, and we have to bring a person who overcome. I think it's better to go like this.
Yes. Yeah. It's a better.
So yeah. Any other questions on this?
No, Bante. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Clear.
Any other someone? Okay.
Bante, may I ask one more thing in Sutta? Can you explain more about Nama Papancha? I could not understand about Nama Papancha. What's in my Nama Papancha?
Nama Papancha. What do you mean by Nama Papancha?
Yes.
Huh? Did I say such a thing?
No, in commentary.
A commentary. Sorry, wait. Sorry. Udanatakata. Where was it?
Here. Ditti Papancha Sanya Nama Papancha. Because you mentioned about Papancha refer to the defilements. So Nama Papancha, what's the meaning?
You mean this?
No. From Ditti Papancha Sanya is the third life.
Ditti papanchanyasa sanya, you mean?
Yeah, nama papancha here.
Nama papancha?
Yeah.
And it's mana papancha. I think that's what
Mana,
she
sorry,
asked.
sorry.
Mana papancha, yes. Mana papancha is the mana itself is called papancha. Because the meaning of papancha is here the meaning of papancha. Sattame papanya sanya sanka pahananti papanchenti yat sayang uppanna. Papanchenti means makes it delay, lag to unnecessarily become to stay somewhere. Like if we lag more, like if we become like unnecessarily remain in some place, that is called papancheti. It causes something. Papanchenti yatta sayang uppanya tang santanang vittarenti chirang tapenti iti papancha. So where it arises, that santana, that mind stream, vittarenti extends, chiran tapenti makes it to keeps it for long, like lengthens it, papancha. So that's called papancha. So when the papancha is there, we wander in sansara without getting liberated. We keep on these defilements makes our sansara longer without letting it to get without letting it to be eradicated. So papancha means the realities, the defilements which makes us to lag in the sansara, makes us to be in the sansara for a long time, right? So there are 6 types of such defilements. Raga is one. Raga is here mainly refers to the lust, especially for the bodies. That's why I say subhasanya is the reason for raga. Then dosa is, we know, anger. Moha is delusion. Tanha is craving, the craving. Especially tanha, vedana is the reason for tanha. Subhasanya is the reason for raga. Subhasanya especially appears towards the bodies, the figures. Then ditti papancha is, we know, the wrong view. Mana is conceit, right? So mana papancha means mana itself is a papancha, because of mana we get delay in the sansara. Clear?
Yes, Bante, but for DT, Tanha is okay, but Mana is very obstacle about how to understand about Mana. We consider as a defilement. Why we consider Mana as a defilement?
You mean papancha as a papancha?
Mana papancha. Get only Mana.
That I'm unable to explain, because this is how the definitions have come. Because why one is papancha and one is not papancha, this is beyond our, to my understanding, this is beyond our capacity. So because the Buddha has divided these as papancha, these as kilesa, these as asava, even the sub-commentators have mentioned in the, you can see this in Dhammasangani Anutika, they suggest that this classification is made by the teacher, by the Buddha. So we are just, it makes sense, it makes some sense, but we cannot come into ultimate explanation why this is in and why that is not in. There have been some efforts to figure it out, but I think it's very difficult for us to explain why mana is here and why something else is not here. But anyway, mana is one of the major defilements in our sansaric life. I think there are 2 types of mana. The mana of considering, like comparing ourselves with others. The next type of mana is asmimana, just thinking that I am a person. I am just a person who should be respected. It's not a person like not something like a log, or not something like leaves that should be just kept away or swept away without any consideration. Because if you see some leaves on the earth, we don't have any consideration it about as a living thing. We just, sometimes we may burn it, one time we may throw it, sometimes we tread upon it. But if someone walks on ourselves, like if someone just hits us and go, like the pushes us while we are standing, if it's like if they doesn't pay any respect to us, so then we feel like feel some like being offended. We feel like we were not given the due respect. So that kind of feeling comes because of asmimana. Asmimana considers that I exist, that I exist. I'm not a person. I'm someone who should be respected in the world, should not be neglected like inanimate things. So that is also a very basic type of mana which exists till the arahanthood. Arahant doesn't have such consideration. That's why when someone hits Sariputta, he had no consideration about what happened to him. No shame and anything. So this mana is a huge, plays a huge role in our sansara and in our mind stream. I think maybe that's the reason that was put here.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Bhante. Very clear.
Hi, Bante.
Robin, brother.
Since we are in the commentary right now, I would like to ask about the Sanka Bhaga, Bante. The Bhaga is portion, right, Bante? Like
Right.
what does it mean in here by portion, Bante?
Papancha Sanyanan Sankha Bhaga Kothasa. Then this is the meaning. Attato, this is the meaning, right? Sadding nimittehi antang papanchassa pakkiyo kilesa gano. Here Bhaga means whatever defilements which are of that side. Like for instance, if we take Issa Machariya Kukucha, for instance, Issa Machariya and Kukucha. Here Kilesa means all the defilements, all the akusala nature. Because sometimes the Kilesa is exclusively to the 10 Kilesa. Sometimes the word can be used to all the akusalas. We can see like sometimes it was casually used, sometimes it's very specifically used. So what I personally feel is here tantam papanchassa pakkiyo kilesa gano means akusala, the unwholesome natures that are of the group or that belongs, that are related to those papancha. For instance, if someone asks what is happened to Issa, Machariya and Kukucha, I would put them in the dosa group and would say they belong to the group of dosa papancha. If someone asks about the Vichikicha, I would put it in the Moha group and would consider this is something related to Moha, the doubt. Udacha also they will be similar. So likewise, like this Bhaga, the portion means not a part of the Kilesa. When we take one Papancha together with the Sanya, right, together with the Sanya, we have to include all the related unwholesome natures. So that are the Kotasa, right? That are the Kotasa. So this seems like this is the aggregates of Kilesas which are related to each and every Papancha. So Papancha Sanyanang Sankha Bhaga Kotasa. So what is the portion out of them? Then someone asks, portion of what? Portion of which realities? When we say portion, something should be something which is not in there should also exist. So then we feel like tantam papanchassa pakkiyo kilesa gano. Each we can say Now dosa has its own group, mana has its own group. Like it's not only the 14 akusala chetasika. There are, if you go into Vibhanga, we can find various types of akusalas explained there. So each and every papancha has its own related defilement, related kilesas. Maybe that's what, because this was written in plural. So each papancha has its own part. So all that were eradicated. Like dosa has its own portion, mana has its own portion, moha has its own portion, together with the nimitta and also the related defilements. So then, for instance, seems like this. Like, for example, raga plus its nimitta plus its related defilement. Then we also have dosa plus nimitta plus related defilements, RD, for example. Then we also have moha plus nimitta plus related defilements. So this seems like a one bhaga, one kottasa. Then this, yeah, so one kottasa. This is another kottasa. This seems another kottasa. So all those bhagas, sorry, kottasas have been eradicated by the Buddha. Maybe that's what he was, that's what I feel when it says papancha sankha, something like that. Like this is the one, these are the groups, different groups.
Okay, Bhante. I think, yes, it's quite clear, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante.
This is what I feel. You can have some ideas on it. How about Dr. Rand? What do you think about this? Do you see any other options on this?
No, but I think that's very appropriate interpretation. That's how I would understand it as well, Bhante.
Okay. Okay, so then the Buddha also commented why the sanya was taken, because sanya is not found here in this explanation. So that's why the commentators had to give a different explanation to say why sanya is taken. So they had to explain sanya was, because according to this explanation, sanya was not necessary, because we are taking unrelated defilements, the specific papancha and the nimitta. So sanya gahananchit, the reason for taking sanya, tassa nesang sadharana hetu bhave. So sanya is, for instance, like for all, we have some more other portions. Sanya is the reason for all these groups. Like sanya is a cause for raga portion, dosa portion, and moha portion, and all. So that's why sanya was taken separately. Yeah, seems like. So just give me one excuse. Yeah, this is this seems to be a explanation. Okay. Right. So we'll go to the Gatha then. Vocabulary. Yeah. So this was the rough explanation of the Gatha. Then we go into some points of the Gatha. A few things to be discussed. Few. So here another point that I'd like to explain. We can see papancha sanya sankha pahana. Papancha sanya sankha pahana. I'll go back to the commentary then. Sorry. Just to give some insights on some points. So here we find sankha, the word sankha. And also we find a word here, the same word again, sankha. Right? In the next paragraph. Here the commentator says Sankha is Bhaga, Kottasa, group and so forth. Here we find Aneka Koti Sahasra Sankhasu Jatisu in lives. What are these lives? Aneka, various. Koti. Koti means like 10 million. Sata Sahasra. So Koti Sata Sahasra means 1,000 into 10, like 10,000 million, something like that, right? 10,000 million. 10,000 million, I hope it's correct. Koti is 10 million. Sata Sahasra is Sahasra is 1,000. Sorry, Sata Sahasra is 100,000, right? So it become millions, right? Millions. It is like a trillion, I think, right? Million is a trillion. Is it like million?
Million is the 1,000 billion. So it's a trillion.
Trillion, right? Okay, right. Trillion lives. So Aneka Koti Sata Sahasra Sankhasu. So here Sankha should be taken as, if you go into down, we'll go to the dictionary. You can see Sankha. Enumeration, calculation, a number, definition, right? So the first is, now if you go to the below, we can find enumeration, calculation, estimating, number, and so forth. Then sometimes Sankha can refer to definition word name, because Sankang Gachati, to be styled, to be called. So sometimes the Sankha refers to the name. Sometimes the Sankha refers to the number. Sankhya and Sankha both are given. Sankhya and Sankha. And then we also knew in this Gatha, in the commentary, we also sometimes Sankha refers to Bhaga and Kottasa. So what we can find, sometimes the word, according to this, Sankha can refers to portion, sometimes the number, sometimes the name, right? So the same word, we can have three meanings. So normally the dictionary gives these two names, these two meanings, but here the word Sankha, according to the commentary, has also another meaning called the Bhaga Kottasa, the portion or the part, right? Portion or the part. It's also something just wanted to emphasize, because so likewise the dictionaries sometimes have very common meanings for a certain word. Sometimes you may find a new meaning has been explained by the commentators. So during our studies, it will be very useful. Maybe if you are using a hard copy dictionary, we may write that extra definition which is found in the commentary, or we need to keep in mind that sometimes extra meanings can be found in the commentary literature, that we should enter into our vocabulary, because that will enhance our understanding about the Pali, right? So normally the dictionary has these two meanings, but here we have a completely a different type of a meaning according to the commentary. Maybe some other dictionary would have mentioned this if the dictionary has done a good research. So just to give some insights that some meanings are exclusively found in the commentary. So it's our duty to gather them and to update the dictionaries if possible, right? If possible. Then we going to another one point, Sandhana and Paliga. Sandhana here is explained as Tanha and Ditti, craving and wrong view. Paliga is the Avijja. It's an obstacle for the attainment of to the Nirvana, to the city of Nirvana. The city of Nirvana, attainment of entering into the city of Nirvana is obstructed by the Paliga. Paliga is a crossbar, something like that. So then its metaphor is it's a metaphor of Avijja. So Avijja is like the obstacle for us to enter into Nirvana. Sandhana is the Santana sadisassa, bandanattena, Santana sadisassa. It binds us. So it's called Sandana, the Tanha and Ditya, the reference here, other reference. Then we come into Charanta. In the Charanta, it says Ekanteneva, Sabba Satta Hitang, Ekanteneva, Ekanteneva, indeed, like without any doubt, indeed, Sabba Satta Hitattang, for the benefit of all the beings. Chatuhi Iriyapatehi, with 4 postures. Nana Samapatti Charehi, with various meditative absorptions, attainments. Ananya Sadharanena Jnana Charena Charanta, who wanders in terms of wisdom, which is not common to others. So this is referring to the Buddha itself, because he always practiced for the benefit of others from the time of Bodhisattva during the samsara, in all the 4 postures, and also while observing, entering into samapattis, he wanders in terms of wisdom, which is not unique to others. So that's why his wandering is not just wandering in this world, so not just walking. Here Charanta means one who wanders with wisdom, with the 4 postures, and also with the absorptions for the sake of the benefit of others, for the benefit of others, indeed. Then the last point to explain here is the Papancha Titi, right? Papancha and Titi. So we have here, so now the Titi, the word Titi has few meanings according to this commentary. Yassa Papancha Titicha Natti, Yasma Bhagava Attanameva Parangya Katva Nidisati. Right, so Buddha refers to himself, but as someone else, as he's referring to someone else, he refers to himself. Tasma Yassa Agga Puggalassa Vutta Lakkana Papancha Tehi Kata Sansare Titicha Natti. So he mentions there is no Papancha to this greatest person, the foremost person. Yassa Agga Puggalassa, the highest person, highest being. Vutta Lakkana Papancha, the Papanchas do not exist in him. What are these Papancha? Raga, Dosa, Moha, Mana, Ditthi, and Tanha. Then Tehi Kata Sansare Titi. Sansare Titi means the persistence or remaining in the sansara, like the continuation, like wandering in the sansara. So Titi is taken as a noun, like existence or persistence in the sansara. So he doesn't have the Papancha, and also the persisting or existing in this sansara is not in him. He doesn't have this. In the Netti, now just rough translation, Papancha is not there, the defilements, and although the persisting of the sansara is not there. In Netti, Titi nama Anusayoti Uttam. Titi is mentioned as the Anusaya. Anusayehi Bhavavatya Mulanti. So the reason is the Anusaya are the reasons for the existence of the Bhavas. So therefore, Anusaya is sometimes referred as Titi. Here, Titi sometimes refers, in the beginning, it refers to the existence in the samsara, and here it refers to the Anusaya. Then another definition, Satte Sansare Papanchanti Papancha. Papancha are the ones that makes the beings lag in the sansara, makes them to remain in the sansara for a long time. So Papancha Titi Ticha Pato, there is also a word with a combination, Papancha Titi, like with double T, TTH. Tasato, the meaning of this is Papancha Titi. So it means, according to that, Papancha Titi is a one word, is a samasa word. Here Papancha Titi are 2 different words. Papancha and Titi are 2 different words. So sometimes they are made as a samasa, as a one word. In that context, if it is taken as a one word, what is the meaning? How do we take the meaning? Papanchanan Titi. Papanchanan Titi. Vijyamanata. Maggena asamuccedo papancha titi. So if you take it as a samasa, papancha titi means the existence, the vijyamanata, the existing nature of these papancha, existing nature. So in the fundamentals we study, there are few types of existences. One is existing, considered it has come into the state of arising, upada titi banga. If it is within these things, that is called existing. When we come into paramatta jatikas like anusaya and so forth, the existing nature is maggena asamuccedo, the non-eradication, the state of being non-eradicated by the magga is called vijyamanata. It's considered as existing. So papancha titi here means the defilement, the anusayas, the existence of anusayas, right? Existence of anusayas. So according to Netti, papancha is sometimes papancha can be called titi. Then another meaning is these defilements, the existence of defilements, these defilements as a latent tendency can also be that existence. The existing nature can be called as papancha titi. Asamuccedo papancha titi. Vijyamanata, that the existing nature. Then another one, titi. Papancha eva va avasitta kusala akusala vipakhanam pavatya hetu bhavatu. Vattassa titi iti papancha titi. Then another definition, papancha itself is called titi. Papancha eva titi. This is like avadharana samasa. Papancha eva titi, papancha titi. It's not the papanchanan titi. This is a kammadharaya, sorry, tappurisa, chatti tappurisa. This one is kammadharaya, papancha eva titi, papancha titi. Why papancha is called titi itself? It is the reason, hetu bhavatu, right? Vattas, hetu bhavatu. Sorry, hetu bhavatu. Vattassa titi papancha titi. It is the existing reason for the remaining akusala, kusala, and vipakas. So it is called titi. So here titi means the reason for the existence. Reason for the existence. So now if we go into the explanation, if we classify the word titi, so first explanation is papancha is defilements and titi is existence. Sansare titi. Right? Sansare titi. The existence. Tehi kata sansare titi cha nati. So existence in the sansara, we would call. Or remaining. Sansara. Then we have another definition. Titi is anusaya. Papancha is defilements. Titi is anusaya. Right? Then we can also say papanchanang titi. Here existing titi means vijyamanata, the nature of not being eradicated by defilements. Nature of not being eradicated by defilements. Then another one is papancha eva iti. This is the reason for the continuation, like for the threefold rounds, called vatta. Kamma vipaka, the remaining twofold, for the remaining twofold vatta, that is kamma vatta and vipaka, because this is kilesa vatta. right? Kusala, akusala, and vipaka. So we can see now the papancha titi. Papancha is defilements, and the titi, the existence or remaining in samsara caused by this papancha. Tehi kata sansare titicha nati. Then another one is papancha is defilements. Titi is anusaya. Titi nama anusayoti butta. Anusayahi bhava pavatya mulanti. These are the also they are anusaya. Why they are called titi? Because anusaya is called titi because they are the reasons for the existence. Bhava pavati. Then papanchanan titi. Another way. Papanchanan titi means, so in this context, the word is samasa. Papanchanan titi. Here they are papancha. They are two words. So now in these two contexts, we have to say the word is papancha titi. It's a samasa word. Here also the same. Papancha titi. In this, there are two different words. So there have been two different alternative readings in the Tipitaka. The commentary recognizes this. So if we take it as papancha titi, we have to give a different meaning. That is the nature of Vijyamanata, nature of not being eradicated by defilements. It means the presence. Then papancha eva titi. Papancha itself is called titi. They are the remaining for the twofold vata. So we can see now there are few explanations given.
Hi, Bante. Are you still there, Bante?
So this is I think I hope you heard me till the end. Here we can see two different explanations for the reading, and also there was an alternate alternative reading, different reading. So for that even they have given two different explanations. So they didn't dismiss this second reading as wrong because they found it still matching to the context, and because of the Mahapadesa, as long as it matches with the fundamentals, they had to accept this because they were not very sure which reading was correct. So they even with the second reading, they had to give the explanation. Yeah. So these are the points would like to discuss. Just one more point as an insight. Apare pana, this is another point. Apare pana, kodang sandhananti vadanti. Some say, dear Sandana, we normally mention Tanha and Diti. Some would say Sandana is Koda, anger. Tangna Gahetabban, that should not be taken. So he Parabhisajjanati Uttoti. So sometimes Sandana can refer to Koda even. But what the commentators are saying, in this context, we should not consider this Sandana as the meaning, because Sandhana in other places, when we use it to dosa, it has mentioned as parabhisajjani, that harming or like going against, like offending or warding others, like we strike against others. So something like always harming the others. So here it should not be taken. So another point is, even though the words may have various meanings, but application of them depends on the context. It depends on the context. Yeah, these are the things that I would like to share about the gathas. Yes, we can have a discussion on this.
Yeah. Hi, Bante. Oops.
Oh yes, please go on, Dr.
Okay. Hi, Bante. So the first question is about the word awasita kusala vipaka nang.
Yeah.
So here, who you explain it as the Dvanda Samasa. You said it is a twofold vata, right?
Yeah.
But so how do we know that, Bante? Because can we see it as the Tapurisa Samasa? You know, the vipaka of kusala and akusala.
Yeah. So this seems kusala and akusala seems dvanda, right? Okay, we'll just break the word. Okay, it's a middle of a sentence, right? So we'll write it here. Kusala, akusala, vipaka, avasitta. Right? Kusala, akusala, vipaka, avasitta. So that normally we take the remaining kusala, akusala, and vipakanang pavatya. Right? So what I feel is kusala and akusala, we normally say, now we take it kusala cha akusala cha, then vipaka cha. So they are the kusala akusala vipaka. Then we have a word called avasitta, remaining. Akusala akusala vipaka. So seems like kusala avasitta kusala kusala vipakanang pavatya hetu bhuto hetu bhavato vattassa titi. The cause of the vatta. Vattassa titi means the cause of the vatta, hetu bhavato. Existence of avasitta kusala kusala vipakana, remaining kusala kusala vipakas. I see two ideas here. We can say this avasitta, one explanation. Avasitta is connected to akusala. Why? Some papancha is already akusala. So when we say remaining, the kusala is there, vipaka is there, the remaining akusala is there. Right? Remaining akusala. Then we, because thing that I would keep in mind here, there are threefold vatta, kamma vatta, vipaka vatta, and kilesa vatta. So now kilesa vatta belongs to the papancha. Kilesa vatta belongs to the papancha. Then what we remain is kamma vatta and vipaka vatta. So it seems like here both kamma vatta and vipaka vatta are counted. Right? So then the question comes, what is this avasitta remains to? Is it remain to the remaining two vatta? So one of alternation, remaining two vattas. Or is it remain, it is referring to remaining akusalas other than what falls into kilesa vatta. Because there are few akusalas which are considered as the kilesa vatta. The remaining like akusala chitta and so forth are still akusala, but they don't belong to the kilesa vatta. So is it like they are causing, so avasitta is the remaining akusala other than the kilesa, or avasitta, kilesa vatta is completely taken, so remaining two vatta is avasitta. First, we have to clarify this point before we go into samasa. What do you think on this?
Yeah, it's just
What?
because here, the word vatta is vattasa. So it looks like it's singular. So
Yes,
it
but
looks to me that it only refers to the vipaka vatta, right? And then the
kusala,
vipaka.
kusala, vipaka, kusala, vipaka of kusala, kusala.
Yes, that's how I understand it.
Okay. Magyan samuccaya panchatiti. Papancha eva va avasitta kusala kusala vipakanam bhavattiya hetu bhavatu vattassatiti papanchatiti. So, but we also know papancha is reason for the kamavatta also, right?
Yes, definitely, yes.
Because of the singular word. Yeah, if we take it as singular, then we have to take, then if we take it as singular, this should be the vipaka vatta. If we take it as one vatta, vattassa moolam. But sometimes the threefold vatta can be referred with singular, right?
Yeah,
When we say vatta,
yeah, of course. But it just that is why it is not clear to me here, because that's what I said here. So when we then it goes to the point of the what kind of samasa is that, right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
Right. We can. How about this? Like, I see. Do you see any other alternation? Anyone sees? Like, because I see avasitta can be. If we take all the three vatta, the remaining two vatta, or avasitta can be the remaining akusala. Any other option? Do you see? The meaning of avasitta.
So what about awasitta? How about awasitta? Modifies the word kusala kusala.
Avasitta kusala kusala. The remaining wholesome and unwholesome. So then the remaining means other than the kilesas, is it?
Right.
So in the end, originally, some part of akusala is here. So remaining kusala means because some part of akusala is here and all the kusala are here, except the magga kusala. So avasitta means the remaining kammas other than the kilesa.
Yeah.
Then you connect the vipaka with chappurisa, chatti tappurisa.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we take it as a one vatta, then vipaka vatta we are talking about.
Right.
So can we now there's another fundamental thing now. Now this is papancha is kilesa vatta for sure, right? So normally another point, I'm also constructing the idea. Kilesa vatta is normally we say kilesa vatta is the cause for kamma vatta, then kamma vatta is cause for the vipaka vatta. So if we take this as the vipaka vatta, we are directly possible. That is also possible. Kilesa vatta is supporting the vipaka vatta like directly. That is also possible. That is also mentioned in some context. Like normally we go because of kilesa we have kamma, because of kamma we have vipaka, because of vipaka we have kilesa. So that's how normally we make the connection. But if someone says because of kilesa vipaka, that is also possible because upadana pachya bhava. Upadana pachya, the main cause is upapatti bhava. So that is also possible. Okay, this is something to be discussed with friends and have an insight on this.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And then another point is about the could you please roll down Bante to the ekante nawa tapasata hitatang tatu hi iriya pate hi
Yeah. Okay. Right.
anatamaya, and then that sentence, the whole sentence. So it refers to the Buddha, so who is wandering with the practice of the jnana, which is not common to others, and with the practice of many samapatti in four postures. If we think it that way, then the ananyasadharanena, that word modifies the word jnana charena, right, Bante?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the iriyapatehi modifies the word nana samapatti charehi.
Chatuhi iriyapatehi nana samapatti charehi. Charanta. What is this cha then?
Yeah, cha is connected to the two words jnana charena and nana samapatti charehi.
Okay. Chatuhi iriyapatehi nana samapatti charehi cha.
Yeah.
Ananya sadharenena jnana charena cha. Yes, correct. Because if you look into the previous one also, Ubhayaloka munana tocha atta hita parahita munana tocha muni. Yeah. So then ekante neva sabbasatta hitatang, for the indeed for the benefit of all the beings. Tatuhi riyapatehi nana samapatti charehi, who practices in all the various who wanders. Chatuhi iriyapatehi nana samapatti charehi charantam, who wanders with all various samapattis with all four postures, right? Then also who wanders with the wisdom which is uncommon to others. Yes, correct.
Yeah, and then if this case, then it is the question, but so so the iriyapatehi nana samapatti charehi. So the many samapatti in four postures. So what kind of samapatti for the walking posture, Bante?
Okay. That is a good question. Samapatti, you cannot have only abhinya can be made with the practice, right? Only
Yeah.
abhinya. That is a fundamental problem. Fundamental question. Is it referring to? Because my Mahatera used to say, I was also wondering about this. He used to say, I felt like he was referring to a fundamental in the teaching. We know that samapatti cannot have any postures, like change the postures. Like walking is always changing the posture. So we can't have vinyati with the samapatti, except the abhinyana. But he used to say that for some beings, like the walking posture is also considered as a posture for samapatti. So what he was telling, like I couldn't ask the question, what was it? I felt like he was referring to one kind of a fundamental of the teachings, like even while walking, during poses, you enter into samapatti, you come out of the samapatti and walk, something like that, like momentary still, and then you stay for one moment, and then you go for the movement having emerged from the samapatti, something like that. So to my understanding at the moment, we normally say walking is not a posture for your jhana attainments, but he used to say this statement when many years ago, which really, because he has clear knowledge about the Abhidhamma, and he normally says that you cannot change the postures in Samapatti. He had the basic knowledge on it. So, but he used to say this statement 2 times, that in some cases, the walking is also mentioned for some special beings as a posture for samapatti. So I was too young, I couldn't ask him the question on which context what you are saying this. So this is also, maybe he was referring to these kind of statements that he has found in the commentaries. So now something that we need to search, what does it mean actually? Whether it's referring to abhinya, okay, it makes sense. Then we have to find out whether abhinya is a samapatti. Samapatti is normally you stay in the same posture for few mind moments, at least for few mind moments, the Javana will continue. So yeah, it's a very good question and something that we have to refer. So it reminded me my Mahathera statement, but I am unable to give any idea here.
Okay, Bhante. Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Maybe these kind of statements led him to say that, say it. I was really surprised that day. How could someone walk during Samapatti? But maybe because of these kind of fundamental statements, he may have said that. Thank you for pointing out. I also didn't focus on it.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
If you find anything, please let us know about this.
Bhante, regarding this, I think I remember one time, like I heard Sayadaw's Dhamma talk, Bhante.
Okay. You mean
I don't
Shadow?
know. I think it is Pauk Sayadaw, Bhante, but I don't know whether it my memory is correct or not. But I heard that once he said that, well, for example, if he enter into jhana, for example, while working, like he can still walk, but the walk is limited to the only fixed, like for example, he just go 5 steps and he will just go back like that. So it will not walk further than that, Bhante. So it's just fixed to like certain walk area like that, Bhante.
But then it breaks the basic fundamental in the Abhidhamma. We have to see what the Sayadaw is referring. When we have to check whether it was said by. Are you sure it was said by Pauk Sayadaw?
I will not say because it has been quite long, Bhante. But at that time, I heard Pauk Sayadaw's Dhamma talk a lot.
It's a very basic fundamental Brother Robin, because
Yes,
the Mahaggata and Lokuttara Chittas cannot make any change the postures. It says like through Vinyati is not possible with these consciousness.
Yes, Bhante, and also like
example, then it is like I see no way, because it's fixed to a certain object. If he wants to move, the idea should come into the moving idea, the leg, the postures that we would change. So then we have very big fundamental issues. The object of the jhana, what kind of object becomes not fixed, and so forth.
Yes, Bhante. So
yeah.
yes, so like maybe I'm also not sure whether my understanding is correct, but I think the sense that I get is like that. But it has been for a while, so maybe we have to search further, Bhante.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, Bhante, about the Papanchana Titi, Bhante, can you scroll down, Bhante? The nature of not being eradicated by defilements, it's not by Magga, Bhante?
Sorry, Magga.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. Thank you.
Okay, Bhante. So like if we translate it like literally, it's like the standing of the papancha, like that, Bhante. The existence of the papancha.
As a latent tendency. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, shall we call it a day then? It's already 11 o'clock in Myanmar. I think Syale Punyachari couldn't join. She had some problems in the internet, I think.
Okay, thank you so much, Bhante. Sadhu.
Thank you very much, Bhante. Sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu.
Sadhu.